Time for Twins Pod. It's going to be a damn good show. Yeah.
So,
what do you think about those polling numbers for Kamala Harris? She's supposed to like win an election.
I don't believe anything that's put out, man. Like, where are they polling those from?
Yeah.
They're
probably dead voters.
Yeah. Exactly. Or, they're going to some liberal, city
like how can a woman so disliked,
unpopular,
the presidency, it was just going all downhill. She dropped out her candidacy because nobody liked her, and now all of a sudden she's the most popular candidate ever.
Yeah.
I was like,
because I think the government knows they can manipulate the American public
easily,
very easily. I think they proved that already during COVID. They're like, we got you morons to stay inside. We got you morons to put a uncontested drug into your body.
Yeah,
we got you to follow all of these rules. And I think remember before COVID started, the whole paper towel and toilet paper thing.
Right.
Like, did you when that was going on? I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? Like, why has this become such an issue?
Toilet paper's the last thing on my mind.
Right. So, I mean, and I tell my wife, I'm like, that was a little test to be like, let's see if we can get these idiots to go out and freaking go nuts over toilet paper and paper towels. And as soon as they saw it, they're like, oh, we got them. We got them.
Yeah.
Release the COVID thing. Yeah. And I think, that's why now they think they can get away with it again. I mean, like you talked about, Kamala, she's a bumbling moron. I mean, Joe Biden, you literally didn't think it'd get any worse than Biden, but it's like, no, it can. Like, it's now we got somebody that can actually talk, but nothing intelligent comes out of her mouth.
Right.
And so when they were like, hey, yeah, we'll just throw her in and then we'll tell everybody she's up in the polls and tell everybody
she's black.
There are people that are going to like, yes. Yeah. Like, because people
she's
don't
a black woman too.
Yeah. I
don't even think she is.
Well, what is she, like, multiracial?
Yeah, she's
whatever she wants to be.
Yeah, but
yeah. I don't think they say her father's Jamaican and they consider that to be black, but when I look at her dad, I don't see a black man. There's a race of people. When you look at Indians, there's some Indians that are like black people, but they don't identify as black people. That's what her dad looks like. He looks like an Afro-Indian, and now they're trying to claim that she's black, and she's not ethnically black or culturally black.
But it's like, isn't it crazy though? Like they are so focused on race. Like,
that's all they got.
But that's the most racist thing ever because it's like saying, okay, maybe she's Indian, but we're going to say she's black. Well, it's like, then you're shitting on Indian people. Like, they're not good enough.
Yeah.
Like, what race is good enough? It shouldn't matter.
If it's like, Democrat, it's black.
Yeah, they said they doing it's just another ploy for black people to go vote for them because black people are going to vote for her just because
she's black.
Yeah.
Do you think that though? Like, because I see a lot of stuff saying like the black communities are like
they're waking up.
Yeah, like no, this isn't right.
Like typically every election, black people vote like 90 to 95% Democrat. I think this election is probably going to be around 80 to 85%.
Yeah,
which is huge.
Yeah, that's still a large number.
That's still a lot of, but you would think black people would wake up, but nah, they are.
Even when she's like faking accents and doing all that, like
I don't get it. I
don't get it, dude.
They don't see it.
It's like almost like they're mocking black people.
Yeah.
And nobody picks up on that shit. They like drives me crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, she doesn't talk like that. Why y'all like cheering this on?
And I think that's all people want, man. Is like something to look at and be like, all right, I can relate to this person, or like how some people are like, well, like the big thing I hear, the one. I guess I wouldn't even call it an argument against Trump. It's just they're like, well, he's just not presidential. And you're like, so by presidential, you want somebody that's articulate, that can get up there and be a smooth talker and make you feel comfortable. I'm like, those are called professional liars.
Yeah.
Like they know how to lie and they can get up there and lie and make you feel good and make you feel comfortable. And then they're going to pull some shit behind the curtains that you have no idea. Trump is not a politician. He's not I mean, he's not that articulate, right? Like, he's pretty much like, this is what I'm going to do, and too fucking bad, right? I'm like, he's in your face of like, this is what I'm about. And I think that's what we need is somebody that doesn't give a shit and is strong and will back up what he says.
Doesn't play any games.
Yeah. Yeah.
But see, that's the thing about Democrats. They don't run on policy. They run on, like, painting the other side as racist. Yeah. I mean, they have no policies. So I think that's what they're so effective as politicians. Because Republicans, they rely on policy. You know what I mean? I want to do this, I want to do that. The other side doesn't. They just
I want to save the world. I want to give equality to everybody.
Yeah.
I want to bring down food costs.
I want to coexist.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you do that? They don't go into detail how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
But it makes people feel good.
Because they have
It's
no
like,
intention of doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah, that's the other
impossible.
thing.
Yeah.
they don't care about you. Like that not one bit.
Right.
That's the truth.
You know, when I hear RFK, because I used to be liberal, when I hear RFK talk, that reminds me why I used to vote for those people. When I hear him talk.
Well, I was raised. My parents were Democrat. They're moderate Democrats back in the day, and I still like agree with the way I was raised. It was back in the day. It was you work for what you earn.
Yeah.
And then when you earn things and you start making money, then you should help other people out. Like you should always be trying to help those that are, below you and try to raise them up, but not for free, right?
Right.
You don't just give them shit for free. But if you make enough money that you've worked for and you want to help people, you should do it. And I still believe that, to this day. And I think that's more on the Republican side now.
Right.
And I like RFK. Yeah, I think he's obviously he's intelligent and
common sense.
yeah, and he speaks the truth too. I like the fact that he's all about make America healthy again, and he's all about the anti-pharmaceutical. We need that because I mean that's one of the biggest problems in this country too is we're killing ourselves.
Yeah, I really enjoy it when he went up on stage with Trump. I said, this is why I used to vote for Democrats.
Yeah, and then you got Tulsi Gabbard joining in. And what's crazy? So tell me how nuts this is that Bush, Dick Cheney,
Yeah.
and them are on Kamala's side now. I'm like,
Right.
dude, these are the people that you guys were calling the devil like
Yeah.
10, 15
Those
years
are
ago.
the people that got the government to be able to spy on us now.
Yeah, and Dick Cheney is a piece of shit. Like I mean, and I was fooled by him for sure when we kicked off the war. I'll admit that. And I was duped just like
those
everybody
dudes
else.
was Democrat
Yeah,
Rhinos.
for the Democrat Party.
rhinos.
Yeah, I voted for that one dude. What's his name? Mitt Romney. I voted for him.
I hate it. That's how bad I hate
president.
Obama.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Think about it. If you didn't have Obama, you had to vote for Mitt Romney. It's fucking crazy, right?
yeah. You talk about the lesser of two evils now.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just look at. I don't even care like right or left. I'm like, what is your character, man? Like, who are you as a person? Are you? And if you are about something that I'm not about, and you're like, hey, this is what I want, but you stand by that, I can respect you for that. Like, if you make a valid argument and you're like, dude, this is why I believe in this, and I'm not going to switch sides. This is where I stand. I've respect because you have a backbone, and it's the people that flip flop. Like, oh, now I'm going to be on this side. It's the kite flyers, whatever way the wind's blowing, is where I'm going to go.
Exactly.
And you have. Like I get rhinos, like Dan Crenshaw is one of them. He's he's a piece of
Yeah,
shit.
he's disappointed me.
Yeah, I mean he's one of the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some people think we're not going to even have an election. There's some rumors that we're not going to even have an election. They're going to do something to keep us from having an election. Do you think there's any truth or behind that?
How would they do that though?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Trump going to win. That's why.
Well, they throw Trump in prison, or they try and kill him again.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's what they're alluding to. They're going to throw him in prison.
yeah, but even then, we can still vote for him while he's in prison, and I think it's just going to help him if they try. If they do that. It's people are going to get behind him more and more. But what's going to be scary is if they do that, and Kamala gets in, and then it's like you've just.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think they're just playing with fire. You can push people, but so much.
Yeah, it's scary.
Hey, I want to ask you something about what do you think what's going on in Israel? What's your take on what's going on?
Oh
in
my
Israel?
gosh,
That's a mess.
it is a mess, man. It's
Like I'm Republican, and I always was like, I love the Jews, but now I'm like, I'll open my eyes up. It's
not that easy. It's not that.
It's
simple.
a complicated issue.
well because it involves humans.
Right.
That's why, and humans are complicated people, and
Very
it doesn't
complicated.
matter what Jewish, Christian, whatever. I mean, there's good and bad in every
Exactly.
sect, but
Yeah.
I stand with Israel, like not like I'm like, hey man, if they want to defend themselves, if they want to like
Right.
do their thing, let them do their thing, man. Like that conflict has been going on for so long.
Yeah.
And and I'm a Christian, so it's in the Bible. Like Israel is a holy place, and it's one of those places. Like, just think if Israel
Do you
just
think those people are still holy though?
What?
the Jewish people today, because they came from they're like European because of World War II, or the Jews.
They start off refugees there, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they do. But I know like that's where the purebred Jewish culture is from.
Right. From that part of the world.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm like, it's.
Do you think it'd ever be a two-party solution to that area? Because that's what's going to fix it. A two-party solution.
What, letting like the Palestinians have their own?
Yeah, just cordon off. This is for the Palestinians. This is for Jewish faith.
Make it two.
Because I don't think at this point, I don't think multiple religions could coexist in that area unless they have.
Yeah, I guess a set of rules.
Yeah.
But then they can go ahead and apply those rules. But then one attacks the other again. When if, like Hamas decides to throw some rockets into Israel again, it's like Israel's going to respond and be like, dude, fuck you. Like, okay. And that's where I don't think people understand too is, I mean, people are like, oh, they're killing all these innocent people over there and bombing. I'm like, hey, well, that's war. And the fact that Americans or like our government is criticizing them like for what they're doing, it's like, dude, what do you think we just did for the past 20 years? Do you think you think we were so precise in everything we did in Iraq and Afghanistan? We killed tons of civilians over there by dropping bombs and everything. So we have no leg to stand on to tell anybody how they should fight a war morally.
Yeah, they learned from us, right?
Yeah. And they're probably that's why Netanyahu's like, shut up. Like, I'm going to do what I want. You know?
If you only knew what the American soldiers were doing.
Yeah. That's just horrible, man.
It is. It's not a good situation. War never is. But there's no simple solution. And that's the
not
problem.
Even fixable, huh?
I don't know, man. I mean, I think it's, they have those treaties and whatever, like, hey, ceasefires, but those only last so long. So I don't know what the solution is, honestly.
I think we're pretty much fucked.
Oh, we're good over here.
Yeah. I'm talking about them.
Yeah.
I think they're. Yeah.
I mean, I think it'll. Yeah. I mean, but
I don't even want to touch that. We shouldn't be sending troops there.
No, just like we shouldn't be sending troops to Ukraine. Like that's not our.
How do you feel about us arming Ukraine?
I think it's wrong. I think it's just part of the whole military-industrial complex. I think that, and it's the thing. We're funding them, but we're collecting all the money. Like we're not just like giving them. What we're doing is like, hey, we'll give you these weapons. You're gonna, So, but then we also people are like, well, why are we giving them billions of dollars? So when we give them those weapons, they're buying those weapons from us, and it's coming right back to the military-industrial complex. It's all one big money-making scheme. There's nothing righteous about what we're doing. We're not doing it for righteous reasons.
You think that's what's feeding Israel too, the military-industrial complex?
Anywhere there's a war, the military-industrial complex is getting fed. Yeah.
So it's a conflict of interest for them to solve anything.
Yeah. Why do you think we left all that shit in Afghanistan? You think, like, because everyone's like, why did we do that? It's job assurance for later on. It's like, we'll come back here.
Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, that's what I think. There's no other reason why we left all that shit there.
Yeah, I was like, I knew we was going to pull out, but don't you supposed to bring the equipment with you? I was like, holy
you would think, or pull out in a place that has the high ground and that you can have the advantage. But we didn't do that either. So, but again,
it all starts at the top.
Weak leadership, right? People have no clue what they're doing.
Prices of everything is high as shit.
It's high as hell.
Yeah, we all know it's because of inflation. It's much worse than our politicians want us to know.
The good white people at Genesis Wealth Company have put together a comprehensive wealth guide to help protect your assets tied to our failing dollar. Go to goldrushpatriot.com and let our friends at Genesis Gold help you get prepared today. And the best part about this guide, it's 100% free. Tell them the Hodge twins sent you.